Today, I'm making my way on over to Standard Brawl. Gonna try out this 60 card singleton format. Some people have been recommending it in my comment section saying, hey, I wanna see some Standard Brawl. And that's what we're gonna be doing today. I have been playing this deck quite a bit, having a blast playing it. Honestly, having a pretty good win rate with the deck as well. I'll probably pop that up. I don't have it loaded up yet, but I'll go and clip it and I'll put up my current win rate with the deck. I probably have about 25 or 30 games played with Yuna, Hope of Spira, and I've been having a great time. So the game plan here is nothing too complicated. We are ramping. We're using things like shared roots, glimpse the core, what else? Studious first year with its rampant growth, a couple of 3 CMC things, which is going to be like the Overlord of the Hauntwood, which is 3 CMC, not 5 CMC, because you're going to do it for the impending 4. You know, Fenrir, this kind of stuff. You're going to be putting a ton of lands on the field with this deck, and we're also going to be putting a bunch of stuff into the graveyard. We have cards like Town Greeter, Midnight Tilling, Esper Origins has Surveil 2, Rumblebolt Maverick, a card that has been questioned, but I think it's pretty good, also has Surveil 2. We put a bunch of stuff into the graveyard, things like Summon Bahamut, Summon Knights of Round, Overlords, both of the Mistmoors and of course of the Hauntwood already mentioned, Summon Titan, and then eventually we put out a Yuna on turn 4 or turn 5, and we start overwhelming the opponent with insane value, tons of enchantments. Overall, the deck has just been functioning really well, and I've been having a good time playing Standard Brawl. So we're gonna hop into some games, see how Yuna, Hope of Spira performs, and hopefully see some interesting stuff. See you over there. I guess it's appropriate that our first matchup turns out to be Vivi. Who doesn't love seeing Vivi? All right, this opening hand has some interesting cards in it. Hidden Grotto and also Conduit Pylon. I very much like both of these cards in this deck because of this Surveil 1. That being said, sometimes this deck is a little bit colored mana hungry and it's demanding green or white mana sources, and at times the Conduit Pylon and the Hidden Grotto have kind of been awkward. They've screwed me over a little bit, to say the least, but hopefully that's not going to be the case today. So in this case though, I'm going to go out thankfully with this forest, not with the Hidden Grotto, because if I put something on the top of my library that I want, it might be a little bit uncomfortable or awkward for the future playing out the rampant growth. So I don't want to really be surveilling things to the top of my library and then shuffling them away. Anyways, we've ramped ahead of the Vivi player. Hopefully we can find... We do have Bushwhack. We can use this to maybe get rid of the Vivi. It might be a little bit tricky though. Aftermath Analyst is going to be good. So this turn, I think probably Dredger's Insight plus Aftermath Analyst are going to be the best bets, because that's going to fill our graveyard the most for Yuna. And we'll see if the opponent has some kind of interaction for us. We put a whole bunch of things that we don't really want to see. Actually, Starting Town is not bad. This is turn 3, right? Sure, Starting Town. And I'm going to attack in with the Studious first year before I put out the Analyst. The Analyst is a cool card. The Analyst does not return something. It's just straight mill 3 cards. But then it has an ability. Sacrifice this creature. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. This can bring back quite a few lands. I've had it just flood the field with lands at times. Hopefully we get to see it do something similar this time. 1, 2. So we now have 3 lands in the graveyard. I'm going to have to actually think about maybe not doing Yuna next turn because the Aftermath... Okay. Okie dokie. So the opponent makes the decision for us and removes the Aftermath Analyst. Also, Ice Till Explorer is sitting in our graveyard a little bit uncomfortable or awkward. Cunning Coyote over there. So what we can do is bring in the Authority of the Consuls, and the Yuna is going to draw us a card. So we're going to do Hidden Grotto. Maybe we hit something big. Esper Origins? Okay, I'm going to put that into the graveyard because I would rather play this out for its flashback cost anyways. And we'll put the Yuna on the field. We will attack in for just 1 pitiful point of damage. And unfortunately, we don't have great things in the graveyard. But the Authority of the Consuls stops the haste from this. It also, I don't know, Vivi comes in tapped. It doesn't matter because this is original Vivi. Vivi here doesn't need to tap to do the mana stuff. And Vivi is onto the field. Did I say Yuna was going to draw a card? I thought I had up the beanstalk on the field. I did not put it on the field yet. It's fine. So the opponent, okay, puts a +1/+1 counter onto the VV, which is good because it means that the VV is out of range of my Bushwhack. However, do you think the opponent has... They have something. Okay. They're going to... That's fine. Not so fine. I thought they put a +1/+1 counter on. They only buffed it up with this one until the end of turn. I was mistaken. Dang, there was the +1/+1 counter. Okay, not good, not good, not good. That means we are kind of missing on things. Let's try to draw a card. Find something good. Glimpse. Okay, we're finding only the ramp side of our deck. But we do get to put the Seam Rip on the field, grab the Cunning Coyote, I suppose. And now Vivi might just have its way with us. It's a real shame that they had the Spell Pierce. I suppose I could have put out the Conduit Pylon beforehand for the Esper Origins. Yeah, might come back to bite me. Haste Magic for Vivi. Vivi is now massive, and they get to generate 5 extra power, 5 extra energy, however they want. What a silly card, right? Why? Why is this allowed to exist in Standard Brawl? They have removal for Yuna. Stuck up. And they have Seer sitting there. Seer only does 4 damage, so Yuna is out of the range of that. But they are pinging me down. They are going to have either a Vivi back as a good blocker or a pretty healthy attacker as well. And also this Molten Core Maestro. Oh boy, it can get out of control real quickly. Honestly, I think I'm probably pretty done. We didn't hit anything with our mill stuff, so we kind of just fell apart. And they get to sear away our studious first year. How could you do it to me, opponent? Okay, I'm fine with that. Summon Titan is not bad. Summon Titan is actually pretty insane here, right? So this is going to leave me... I'm just making sure that the mana base is going to tap properly. Sometimes with starting town and hitting Grotto, you get some funky stuff. We mill. We milled a bunch of lands, but that is okay because what we get to do is we get to say, Summon Titan, go smack Vivi around a little bit, bud. Ooh, and we get to gain 7 life for doing that. That felt real good. And now the opponent is a little bit on the back foot here. We grab Virtue of Loyalty. Sure, that's going to be a good card. I milled that with the Summon Titan. So at the beginning of our end step, we're going to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature and untap them. Unfortunately, because Yuna is also at the beginning of the end step, this comes in after the beginning of the end step, so it doesn't trigger. A little bit of awkwardness there. But we're sitting here with Aang's Iceberg. We can scoop up whatever we want. We also have the Primeval Bounty, which is going to be good. They bounce our Summon Titan. Okay. Sure. I guess they don't want... This was going to put a ton of lands onto the field, so I understand. I do understand. I kind of feel like I have to use the Aang's Iceberg on the Molten Core Maestro, though, because if they do get a 5th land and they do play something, the Opus, if 5 or more mana was spent to cast that, add an amount of red mana equal to this creature's power, which is 6 or more. So, flashback for the Into the Flood Maw. They're going to bounce the Yuna as well. Send her to hand. Not a problem. They don't have any mana available to them. Okay, what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 7 mana available to us. So, a little bit awkward. I guess we're just going to do the Aang's Iceberg. We're going to do it now just to make sure that the Molten Core Maestro is gone. Let's do the Town Greeter to get it onto the field. Maybe we find a land here. No lands. That's incredible. And a little bit awkward with the mana base. What did I say about the hidden grottos and the conduit pylons being just a little bit weird? Anyways, next turn, though, Summon Knights of Round is possibly going to hit the field. And a Tursa is not the scariest thing for us. It comes in tapped. They do get to discard. and try to find their 5th land. Okay. Sure. So we now are up to 2, 4, 6, 8 mana. We probably want to just put out Yuna. Right? I didn't need to shock that in. It's fine. We have so much life. It's fine. Maybe I did want to shock it in. It's possible that they have like a counter spell. And we fight through Vivi. It wasn't the most exciting game, but we did have some pretty good interaction. And I honestly think we were a little bit lucky that the opponents got stuck on mana for a few turns. But yeah, this is what this deck does. It just keeps spewing out things, and it kind of overwhelms the opponent. And I've been having a whole lot of fun playing it. So take that, Vivi. Get out of here. You're banned. Ooh. So if any of you decide to venture into this format, Raph and Mikey are going to be a problem for you. Raph and Mikey are some of the terrors of the format. It's a very linear, boring deck. Raph and Mikey attack. They reveal a card from the top of the library until you reveal a creature card, reveal cards, blah, blah, blah. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped and attacking with Raph and Mikey. So when Raph and Mikey attack in, they bring a friend. Authority of the Consuls, really good card for making sure Raph and Mikey don't attack you. So Authority of the Consuls is one of these cards that you absolutely want to see in your opening hand, and hopefully they don't have a way of removing it, which they very well might, but it is a good way to keep the opponent under control. Unfortunately, the opponent did go first, so they are going to have quite a bit of an advantage, and this is a little bit of a ramp thing, and we do not have anything. I'm going to put out the Fable Passage, I think, because I want to thin the deck ever so slightly. We're not using this mana for anything. We're just going to hope that we find something for turn 3. I don't think I will be splitting up. I could. Maybe if they end up playing like a Mana Dork out and they attack in with a Badger Mole Cub, everything is tapped. I could see an argument for using the split up just to clean the board away to slow them down. Paw Patch Formation. Ouch, it hurts. Okay, so we're in trouble now. Raph and Mikey, big problem. Raph and Mikey have been unleashed. They have 2 red mana available to them. They attack in with the Badger Mole Cub. We hit the cash grab, so I can split up. This probably slows the opponent down enough. I think it's worth it. Okay. We'll send the Earthbent land back to its original form. They're down to 3 mana. Next turn, we can go Ice Till Explorer. We have the Fable Passage in the graveyard, so we can keep playing that back out and ramping beyond what the opponent's doing. Druid of the Cowl is good. And hey, if you want to talk about a good draw, Get Lost going to be pretty good in this matchup because we can attack or kill the Raph and Mikey before they attack in. Okay. We are going to get to the point very soon where we basically just have to leave the Get Lost up. 2, 4, 6, 7. Actually, next turn we can't allow them to. Yeah. We need to just hold up Get Lost. That was a huge draw for us. But we actually kind of need like a second point of removal now, because even if they put out the Raph and Mikey this turn, we kill it. They're probably going to be able to play it out for 9 mana very soon. So that's 3. How much? 7, 8. Yeah. Pretty wild. Thankfully, we are going to be swimming in enough mana ourselves. Let's grab that. Sure. All right. Soulstone Sanctuary into the graveyard. I'm going to do this. It's going to take a minute. I don't like doing this, but it's the best way. I think I probably want to thin my deck a little bit. And also, the Ice Till Explorer is a very important card because every time a land enters the battlefield, we are putting a card, milling a card into our graveyard, and that's going to just be good for Yuna. You know what I could do? Authority of the Consuls sitting right there. Yeah, I like this plan. Yuna to the field. No attack. There's no point. And Yuna is going to say, hey, Authority of the Consuls, get your butt out here. Raph and Mikey, who are they? I heard they're a couple of troublemakers. Well, we're bringing the authority. We're bringing we're bringing this boy to deal with old Raph and Mikey sitting on the ground, getting the beat down. Oh man, I love Yuna. So the reason I built this deck for Standard Brawl is because because I tried to play this deck so many times in regular Standard and it never worked. It never worked for me. What do we want? I'm probably going to... What am I going to bring back next turn with Yuna? Summon Fenrir, maybe? So we grab the Virtue of Loyalty? Sure. Okay. Well, we have a ton of mana, right? We have... I don't know how many basic lands I even have left in my graveyard. I'm going to play one more Fable Passage just to see how many more times I can actually Fable Passage. It might screw me. Oh, okay, there's one more. One more basic forest in the graveyard. Okay, we didn't milk basic forest. This is getting a little out of hand. Let's do the Hushwood. Mill one more thing. Come something big. There's the last forest. Okay, so we have all of our basic lands out. We definitely want to make sure that we're holding up mana for Get Lost just in case disaster happens. So I think it's going to be Town Greeter. Town Greeter misses, and we're just going to slam Virtue of Loyalty and hold up 2 mana for the Get Lost. So the position feels pretty good, right? That being said, you know, they can, I don't know, they can do a lot of crazy stuff. Primeval Bounty is actually probably better than Summon. You know what? Yeah, we're going to go with Primeval Bounty. If you're not familiar with this card, whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, then landfall gain some life. Railway Brawler to the field. That means Raph and Mikey gonna be a little bit swole when they come out. How many cards do we have left? This deck is always so close to decking itself. Definitely have to be careful with that. I'm not going to hit the Raph and Mikey this time. There's no point in doing it right now. Let's put Fountain Port onto the field for our land for the turn. Mill Summon Titan is so good. Summon Titan is so fantastic, actually. Boom, boom, like that. Yeah, do I want to play out Kyoshi? Legend of Kyoshi? Draw a few more cards? Not a big deal. How many cards do I want to draw? All of them? This is going to be 7 more cards. Oh, baby. It's so good. Path to Redemption. I feel like such a rude person. How much damage do I even have here? We have 3 mana available to us. I can cast... I'm pretty sure I just have 6. I have 6 more points of damage. So this was 15 plus another 6. Aw, it wasn't quite enough damage, right? I was a little bit short. Shucks. Taking down Vivi, then taking down Raph and Mikey. Yuna, out of control, girl. Roxanne is next. And I am back. I decided to go out for a bit of a walk, a little bit of a break before continuing on with these games. Opening hand looks good. Studio's first year, shared roots. But anyways, how's my hair? Is it? I don't know. Went out, had myself a delicious snack. I don't know what you would call it. It's like an ice cream, but it's not really ice cream. It was wonderful. Got my steps in for the day. Are you getting your steps in for the day? That's important to know, right? Like, make sure you're walking at least. I do 10,000 a day. 8,000 is probably enough, but yeah, get out there, get some steps in. Anyways, we are against Roxanne Starfall Savant. This thing's interesting. Whenever Roxanne enters or attacks, create a tapped colorless artifact token named Meteorite with, when this token enters, it deals 2 damage to any target, and you may tap it to add 1 mana of any color. So it becomes a mana rock, and then whenever you tap an artifact token for mana, add 1 mana of any type that artifact token produces. Roxanne's pretty crazy. I've seen this card do some wild things, and if it gets going, we're going to be in a bit of trouble here. Last turn, I didn't do... Oh, I did that. I wasn't focusing. I was too busy thinking about that delicious snack that I had. Okay. Rampant Growth. We're going to have a ton of mana on the field. It doesn't matter what I grab because we just... Oh. I guess I did tap my mana incorrectly, taking 1 extra point of damage here when I don't really need to. Whoa, the town greeter. The town greeter only greeted a whole bunch of nasty things to be putting into the graveyard. If the opponent doesn't have removal for... What the heck? Doesn't have a removal for my Yuna, they're going to be in a bit of trouble here. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose one. Target creature you control gets +2/+0. Target creature you control gains menace and haste until the end of turn. I see. Oh, okay. Well, we're throwing out Yuna. We're putting her onto the field. We are smacking the opponent down, and I think you got to get Bahamut. When you have a Bahamut, you got to get the Bahamut. You smash the Arcane Signet. They still have 5 mana, so they can still bring Roxanne. Actually, I probably should have hit Torgal, because Torgal is going to... Does it put an additional +1/+1 counter on it? No. Anyways, all of this is irrelevant. We got Bahamut on the field. I'm sure Roxanne is going to be able to attack, but it's going to be attacking into a Bahamut. And next turn, Bahamut is going to be triggering. Okay. Do they hit the Yuna? The Yuna... Okay, it stops me from blocking, so you know what? Let it happen. Go ahead. Boom. Let's smoke the Roxanne. This seems a little bit unfair right now. Now, our hand does absolutely... I guess it doesn't really suck. So I have the choice. The choice is, do I want to keep the Parting Gust alive, or do I just want to Prime Evil Bounty? And I think it's probably Prime Evil Bounty. We're so far ahead. We're going to smack the opponent for just a little bit of damage. 13, no problem. And you know what? Let's refill our hand while we can. Let's draw 9 cards. It's fine. It's so not fine for the opponent. How many cards are we getting rid of? We're getting rid of 4 cards. I think it's a little too late for Aftermath Analyst, and I think it's also a little bit too late for Omen Pass Journey. Well, I haven't talked about that card. This card is so good. When this enchantment enters, search your library for up to 5 land cards that have different names, exile them, then shuffle. At the beginning of your end step, choose a card at random, exile with this enchantment, and put it onto the battlefield. So Omen Pass Journey, it's just like every turn we get 1 extra land. And in the deck, there are plenty of like tap lands. They're really good to just throw underneath that. It's going to come in tapped anyways. So fantastic, fantastic stuff. Unfortunately, we can't get rid of this Chimmel very easily, but unless the opponent finds something really powerful, which, okay, that's, oh, hey, it's an 8/8. Well, what are they going to do about a 9/9 flyer? And about an, I was also going to make an 8/8 land. I'm having so much fun, game. Of course. Who's our next victim? Momo. Apparently, Momo is one of the most popular commanders in this format. Oh man, this hand looks, oh, it looks okay, but it's just not quite there. We don't have any of our ways of milling. We don't have any of our mana ramp. This is going to be a better hand overall, and especially with this split up. I wanted some removal for this deck. The deck is a little bit light on interaction and removal. There's enough in it, but it is ever so slightly light on that kind of stuff. But split up, I ended up going with, and have been pleasantly surprised with how often it kind of just works out for this deck. A lot of times opponents have like fully tapped board or fully untapped board. We get a huge blowout. Sometimes we get just enough value out of it. So split up has impressed me quite a bit. We are also playing Starcage Pinnacle. Starcage? Always flip flop. It's also fantastic. I'm sure we all know power of Pinnacle Starcage. The opponent making us exile a card. I guess we're going to do the Temple of Plenty, right? It's going to be coming in tapped anyways, so let's not even feel the pinch of that. Now, the Lightstall Inquisitor, actually a pretty good card against us because it does, you know, it's going to be untapped, so it's not going to really do anything with the split up. Let's see what's on the top of our library. An Ice-Till Explorer. Oh, I probably should have done it the other way around, because now I have to, I mean, Yeah, we just put it on the bottom of our library. It's fine. We'll end up shuffling our library around. And what we're going to do is just put the Rumble Belt Maverick onto the field. Surveil, surveil. Next turn, we are probably going to be putting Yuna onto the field. So let's stick those two things into the graveyard. And I think I'm going to cash grab instead of the Aftermath Analyst. Never mind. I think I changed my mind. I'm going to put out the Aftermath Analyst. It's a pretty good blocker against the Lightstall Inquisitor. It did only mill 3 cards, and we haven't hit anything good. Maybe I should have been the cash grab. It was 1 extra card. If the top card of my library ends up being like Bahamut or Knights of the Round, I will have made a horrible choice with the Aftermath Analyst. But we do have 2 lands now. 2 lands are not quite good enough for that. Okay, so the opponent, it was land. Dust Animus. Fine. So, we do have a couple of choices here. I guess I could get the Up the Beanstalk, or I could just Esper Origins, which, you know what, I like it better. That'll go in the graveyard. Vastlands, Scavenger, do I want to draw that? Yep, sure. Okay, reveal that. It goes into our hand, and we may as well attack in with... You know what, let's get frisky. Both of them go in. I don't care if the Lightstall Inquisitor hits me. We're going to gain so much life at some point in this game. It's not really a big deal. Next turn, we're going to be swimming in mana. We're going to have 6, 7, 8 mana. Wow. I'm really surprised that they would throw the Lightstall Inquisitor in front of the Rumble Belt Maverick. This... Okay. Lyra Dawnbringer. So that is a new problem for us, and probably one that I'm going to have to sweep away, which now is going to be a little bit awkward with the summon Esper Monduin. Yeah, what a card, but I think that's a card that I cannot allow to sit on the field. Okay, what did I say we had? We have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 mana. So it's probably just... How many lands are in the graveyard? 2. I think it's probably just fire this off, split up. Why is it... Oh yeah, okay, it's fine. I'll destroy all untapped creatures. We're going to lose our creatures. I still think it's fine. And we're going to get Yuna going. We're going to put out the Primeval Bounty. And this thing is hopefully going to start generating a whole bunch of value. It was huge in one of our previous games already. This time around, we're going to be able to make Yuna extra big. She'll get up +3/+3 when we cast the Cash Grab. And then the Vastland Scavenger is going to also make us a 3/3. Now, what's this thing? If you control 5 or more untapped lands, this creature enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Okay. Interesting. So they have a pretty good board of flyers now. This card's actually pretty sweet. Just a 2/2. Okay. Well, let's start with Cash Grab. Put some counters on Yuna. What do we find? So, for enchantments, we don't really have good enchantments in the graveyard. A little bit of a shame, but we'll grab Yuna. We'll put out this, and it's either Yuna or the Vastland Scavenger, and I think it's probably Yuna. Now, this is the first time I'm playing this card in this set of matches. Can we attack? We can attack. They only have limited things. Yuna, very interesting one. Choose target enchantment you control that doesn't have the same name as another permanent you control. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. If the token is an aura, untap Yuna, then scry 2, activate only as a sorcery. If we can double up our Primeval Bounty, oh boy, making double beasts, getting double +3/+3 pumps on things. Whoa, they split up on just taking out my Yuna. Honestly, not a big deal. Yuna, there's nothing in here for her to grab. And me casting this now with the Up the Beanstalk on the field is actually kind of good. Okay, they get me in the air. Let's go. So, very soon we are going to be in the double Bahamut era. And that's going to be pretty cool. So now we have 2 of those. We can probably just make a whole bunch of... Yeah, let's just make a whole bunch of 3/3s. Cool. Cool. Okay, grab the planes. We already played our land for the turn, so that ship has sailed. It's fine, though. And we make more 3/3s. This is an ability, so it doesn't do anything, but sure, let's just do it for the sake of doing it. We'll make a 4/4 and start getting frisky. As long as we don't die next turn, I think our attack is going to be pretty monstrous. We have 3, 6, 8, 9 mana, so we can just do Summon Bahamut, or we can... I don't know. we're going to have a few options. Probably actually just throwing down Yuna. It's going to be one of the better choices, and then grabbing Legend of Kyoshi to refill our hand. We could also just grab Knights of the Round and get that going. But I am taking a lot of damage, actually. Now that I'm thinking about things, this is way more damage than I thought I was going to be taking, and I don't have any lifelinkers. So, no trample, no lifelinkers. They have me dead in the air next turn. I can play... I could just gain a whole bunch of life as well. I could play Summon Bahamut, or I could grab the Legend of Kyoshi, draw a whole bunch of cards, or I could do the Omen Path's Journey, which will also get me 6 more life. So Omen Path's Journey plus Bind to Life is on the field. This is an option that I can do. I kind of like that actually a little bit better. Okay, Bind to Life. Let's put the counters onto the Crazy Beast. Let's put the counters onto a Crazy Beast. Summon Fenrir, okay. And what are we returning? We're going to return... we're going to bring Overlord of the Hauntwood, sure. Gain life, and then Omen Path's Journey. Again, triggers. Let's make another Crazy Beast. Make a Crazy Beast. This is kind of fun. We're going to go thin our deck so much. We'll grab this. All of the tap land. Any land that's going to come in tapped is one of the lands that I want underneath Omen Path's Journey. And then we are going to attack with everything that is terrifying. Yes, this is fine. Okay, so all the 6/6s and the 7/7 and the 4/4 Death Toucher are going to get in on the opponent's face, and we actually gained a tremendous amount of life. Okay, Biza down. They're down to 4 creatures. We put a land onto the field. Trigger, and Pinnacle Starcage gets rid of this. No. We don't want Pinnacle Starcage. It's going to wipe out our entire beast board. We want to just end the game next turn, I think, by casting... What we want to find is actually non-creature spells, maybe? You know what? I'm not really sure. I think this is just going to be a battle of attrition, and it's going to be us trying to slam as much power at the opponent as we can. We do now have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. We have 11 mana, which means we can go Summon Bahamut plus double it up with Yuna. That's an ambitious attack, opponent. I appreciate the effort, but I don't. GG. Good game to you, opponent. Are they going to stick it out? No, they're not going to stick it out. We take down another one, another win with this Yuna deck. This is such a good tear. And like I said, I am having fun. So we've seen quite a bit of variety, and we see even a little bit more now with Tifa. More Final Fantasy, though. Final Fantasy everywhere. People love it. And if we're going to go up against... Sorry, did I say Tifa? Tifa? We need to make sure that we have interaction. Aang's Iceberg is okay interaction. We're going to need this Rumble Belt Maverick to do a lot of heavy lifting. This Rumble Belt Maverick with the Surveil is going to have to find a couple of lands on the top. we find a little bit more interaction with the split up. So it's possible that we could... Okay. Oh, okay. So do I want both of these? Do I want the ramp as well? Probably. So we definitely will keep the Temple Garden on the top. I think we're just going to keep them both there. And we'll see if we can keep this under control. The problem is the opponent went first. And the opponent going first means that they might just kill me next turn. I don't think it's actually possible for the opponent to do 25 points of damage, I'm going to say, with Tifa on turn 3 without like any other help. I don't think that's a thing. Sure, okay, you can get me for 4 here. It's okay. Boom, boom. So the question's going to be, does the opponent have interaction? Does the opponent have a way of protecting Tifa? And it kind of feels like they probably do. So I'm gonna Aang's Iceberg now. And I'm gonna get blowed out. I think this is how we lose. This is the deck is running so well. This is how this is how we lose. We lose to landfall. Imagine that, right? So if landfall is something that you absolutely cannot handle when you play standard, regular standard, you got to be careful because eventually you might also get hit with it in this format as well. The good news is this is currently only 8 damage. They do have 3 more mana available to them. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. The not so fine thing is that we didn't hit a land. That's really disappointing. So I got to get rid of these. Do I use the Pinnacle Star Cage or do I just use Split Up? I think I probably just use Split Up. Okay, tap creatures. This one's gonna be a rough one. we're in a little bit of trouble. Old Tifa Lockhart kicking faces and everywhere. Us playing such limited amounts of interaction also make this a little bit. Oh no! Maybe I should have used the Pinnacle Star Cage. Yikes! This one's a big old yikes. So this actually can't even be blocked by the poor Rumble Belt Maverick. It's just gonna smack my face for 9. Okay. And Lumra. So what do? I put out the Overlord of the Mistmoors and die to the Scourging Soulstorm, Storm Soul. There it is. So, hey, landfall. Landfall. I'm not even gonna block. We can't block it, right? Powers 2 or less. These things can't block. I could have fought through it maybe with like chump blocking with the Maverick and Parting Gust away that thing, but it's fine. It's fine. We got to take our lumps sometimes. Prismari, another new one. All right. So we took a pretty bad whacking from Tifa. If you've gotten your booty smacked by Tifa a few times, you know what? Commiserate. Let's commiserate together. Sub up to the channel. It's not something I mention very often these days, but yeah, throw me a sub if you're not subbed up yet. Dredger's Insight is pretty good, so next turn we can go Starting Town Dredger's Insight and hopefully hit a land. I think that's better than not having Dredger's Insight there. And of course, the easiest thing you can do is like the video. That's always an easy thing. Leave a comment down below. I've been getting great comments all the time on everything that I've been putting out, so thank you very much to all the wonderful people who have been doing that. Always appreciate the people that come out and help support the channel as much as we can. We're growing. We're very close to 3,000, just like, you know, a couple hundred away. Probably by summer, middle of summer, I think we'll probably hit 3,000 subs, which is a pretty crazy achievement to think, because the first time I took a crack at doing all of this YouTube stuff, I think I didn't even reach 500. The channel was just putting along. It was okay at the time, but yeah, a lot more success this time around, so I appreciate all of that. Figured I haven't said that for a long time, so I should squeeze something like that in. Well, that sucks. That's actually going to be a big old problem for us because we don't actually have a way of dealing with it right now. So I think I'm going to go with the Ice Till Explorer. It gets actually a little bit bigger. And we're going to go with the Fabled Passage Thin the Deck plan. We actually don't have a ton of basics probably left in the deck. Okay, Aang's Iceberg would have been a pretty good card to get rid of the Resonating Loot. If we are able to put Yuna onto the field next turn, though, we can go and get that, I suppose. And we can finish all these things off with an Up the Beanstalk for a Studious First Year. So get in with Summon Fenrir. Next turn, we may draw a card with the Summon Fenrir's third chapter, as long as the opponent doesn't put out something big. But I kind of have a feeling that they're going to do a lot of damage. They didn't do anything. Interesting. Very, very surprising that the opponent didn't really do anything. So we don't have any cards right now that interact with that other than our Hope of Spira. Okay, thin the deck a little bit more. I would also not hate hitting a Bahamut. Did I say hit a... Did I say hit a Bahamut? I think I did say that. Ask and they shall deliver. Okay, we got 4 basics left in the deck. And I'm kind of okay. There goes another basic. This Ice Till Explorer is a professional at tilling away all of my basics, which with a Summon Titan sitting there, it's actually not a bad situation to be in, I think. 2, 4, 6, 8 mana available to us. So let's put out Yuna. Let's hope it resolves. They might have counter for it. And whoa, just a quick study? I kind of expected something a little bit more than that. They let it resolve. They let it resolve. From here, yeah, we'll just put down... I guess I could put out the Overlord of the Huntwood. That would have been fine as well. Because this Rampant Growth is actually not going to do anything for us. And now with the Yuna on the field, they could definitely do something. But it does have Ward 2 natively. So it might be a little bit tricky for them to remove. And we get to Bahamut. Maybe they have a way of countering the trigger on the Bahamut. It sure doesn't seem that way. Get rid of the Resonating Loot. Ashling's Command. Draw 2 cards. Yeah. Okay. So they do have a ton of mana. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana possibly available to them for the next turn. So they could just wipe the board. We could be in trouble on that end. And we don't have any like creature lands right now. All of our creature lands are in the graveyard, I suppose. The Restless Prairie is sitting down there. Okay. Very, very quick crack on the Fabled Passage. And I'm curious, opponent, what's your big thing for the turn? It's a flow state. That's okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 7 mana available to them. They did play the Fountain Port, I think, this turn. They played a land, at least, so no more lands coming down the pipeline. They could just play out Prism. If they play out Prism Army, it's game over, right? Probably. Season of the Bold. Create tapped token, treasure. They have just 2 mana available to them. Okay. Let's cash grab. What did we hit? We hit so much. Yes. And let's hit one of the treasures so that they only have one. You know, if they want to use that mana, they can obviously use it, but I think it's okay to do it that way. We'll play out our lands for the turn. And we do have a big attack, and we are going to play out the Primeval Bounty. This is bad news for the opponent. So we have 4 mana available to us. We want to cast as many spells as we can. Okay, so how much damage do I have? 10, 16 points of damage. So let's cast the rampant growth for no value because we don't have any basics left in our deck. But what we get is +3/+3 on Yuna. And that is 19 points of damage. Primeval Bounty comes through. I'm really surprised that the Prismari deck didn't have something to do. Like, that's kind of crazy. They played out their Resonating Loot and then stalled, made a whole bunch of treasures. Like, what were they really building up to? That's awesome art, by the way. I've never really seen Season of the Bold. Ooh. Black is, I think, going to be maybe the last opponent for this set of games. I love this deck. It's super fun, but it is very samey. I think I've showcased mostly what this deck is going to be doing. It's so powerful. I don't know how people are going to feel about these types of decks, though. So, like, one person commented when I made the standard Historic Brawl deck saying, oh, I'm never going to be able to craft these cards because, you know, they're too far out of my price range, right? Like, basically, these are too many. There are too many rares for me to even consider crafting. How could I possibly craft these things? And I kind of get that. Like, but it's the same thing. Like, this deck is going to have just a whole bunch of mythics and rares. It's 60 cards, sure, and it's 60 cards that you probably have, because if you're playing standard, probably your collections are more standard. I'm sure a lot of people have Hauntwood of Overlord of the Hauntwood, for example, right? Let's surveil something away. But I don't know if somebody's gonna see this video and say, you know what, I want to play a Yuna deck. But maybe what it'll do is it'll kind of like encourage you to be like, hey, Yuna's pretty cool. You could. It's not bad. It might be good to get rid of like an Insidious Roots, which I feel like the opponent might have. So I'm gonna keep the Seam Rip there, even though if I put it in the graveyard, I could obviously get it with the Yuna. But I think we'll try this. So yeah, I don't know if people are going to be looking at this video and being like, oh, I want to craft this list. What I always kind of recommend with Brawl and that is I really do think you should just be trying to craft your own things. This deck is something I mostly threw together and then talked together with a friend. We put cards like, for example, I didn't have Ice Till in the original deck, but he recommended it to me. It made a whole lot of sense because I want to fill the graveyard up. Ice Till Explorer does exactly that. It also does crazy land things. We want to ramp a bit. It is a perfect fit for this deck. So that's the way I think you should approach this. But it's very easy to go and just grab a deck somewhere, of course. That's a problem, isn't it? Okay, so in the graveyard, we don't have any good enchantments. So I kind of feel like it's just going to be Ice Till and try to find some enchantments. And that is an enchantment. Bloomvine Region is not going to be good enough. And let's play the planes from our deck, or from our graveyard rather. We will also exile the, what is that called? Bloom Tender? Molt Tender, just to get rid of some of their mana advantage. But yeah, this deck is cool. If you want to play Yuna, I'm sure you probably have a Summon Bahamut, Summon Knights of Round. Just go put them in a deck. Put whatever cool enchantments that you have available to you in the deck, and it'll probably function pretty well, especially since a lot of the enabler cards, the cards that are going to be filling the graveyard, are going to be uncommon or common. It's a good little start. The problem is the payoffs are all going to be mythic or rare. But hey, maybe you at some point opened a Summon Titan and were like, I'm never going to play Summon Titan. Hey, you know what? Summon Titan has proven to be one of the best cards in this deck. It's kind of insane. Still, only Dredger's Insight in our graveyard. So unless, are they going to choose Plant? Worm, maybe? Unless both of these lands, when they enter, they chose Plant. Put something in the graveyard that's really good with the Ice Till Explorer. I think I might be in a little bit of trouble here. Put the Town Greeter in front of the 8-10 Ouroboride. And yeah, now we're in the I Pray for... Okay. Overlord of the Mistmoors is not bad. It's actually probably one of... It's not the best card, but it's one of the better cards that we could have thrown into the graveyard because it's going to enter, it's going to create 2/2/2s or 2/1s. And these are going to be pretty good blockers for this massive Ouroboride that I need to get rid of. We are in chump blocking mode for the remainder of this game, I think. I'm not sure we're going to make it out of this one. This Mutable Explorer is going to be so big. And they're going to make more I think I would have turned on those things. Okay, well, we have no choice here. Okay. Bop, bop. I need a miracle. What do I need? I need Split Up. Split Up off the top of the library would help me tremendously. Oh no, are they going to fight the Overlord of the Mistmoors? Not a Split Up. Okay, well, we do, how much? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 mana. So I need to make sure that I have two white sources untapped is what I need. And that's not too hard to do. Okay, don't mill it. Oh, I don't know if I should have put that out. Please don't mill. Okay. So this is going to draw me 6 cards. I basically need Split Up or I lose the game, right? If we hit Split Up, we can chump block the Mutable Explorer for quite some time. This is going to draw me 6 cards. 6 cards. Oh, it's the wrong one. It was the wrong one. Okay. New plan is put poor things that are going to jump in front of... I mean, I'm so dead because they just turn on the 2 Mutable Explorers. The Mutable Explorers are going to be like 70 power each or something stupid. They're going to be so mad. They're going to be... Actually, they're going to be way more because the Ouroboros is going to trigger once. It's going to be 32 and then it's going to be 64. So they're going to be like hundreds of power. I don't think I milled anything useful into my graveyard. Now, do I attack in with the Overlord of the Mistmoors? If I attack in with this, I gain a little bit of life, but I create, more importantly, I create 2 chump blockers. And I kind of feel like creating 2 chump blockers is going to be pretty important because I need 5. Okay, I'm not giving up hope just yet. There's stuff in the graveyard. Yuna does get to go reach in, grab something. These cards are not going to be good enough. None of them are going to be good enough. Omen Path's Journey thins the deck. Up the Beanstalk draws me a card. Let's go with the Omen Path's Journey. I do also get my Overlord of the Hauntwood. So that'll be a thing. Okay, Valgava's Slayer. We'll grab that. We'll grab the Hidden Grotto. Fine, whatever. I'm not going to spend too much time doing that. And unfortunately, it doesn't trigger, but we are now in Pray to Stay Alive place. A Bitter Triumph on the way out. Ouch. I'm surprised they didn't fire that off much sooner. All right. All they need to do is load up the 2 mutagen vaults, or whatever they're called. Mutavaults. Shouldn't have highlighted it. I gave them an idea. Oh, GG, opponent. Withering Curse. The trauma from recording... Did I say good game? I can't remember if I said good game. The trauma from recording my green-white counters deck and getting absolutely dunked on by this card for a little while until we were able to persevere over it, but... Ouroboride. It's a problem. It's always a problem. There's no way I'm going out like that. I'm not going out to getting absolutely run over by an Ouroboride that just got lucky that I didn't have interaction for it. Yeah, nah. Ang's Iceberg, where were you? Where were you when I needed you? You could have helped me tremendously. Unfortunately, our opponent, playing Glarb, gets to go first. We get to catch up a little bit with this shared roots. Go and grab a Plains. But they are going to get the Calamity's Augur onto the field very quickly. They may look at the top card of the library at any time. They may play lands. Man, that was a really fast land play, right? That was weird. Do we use Ang's Iceberg now? We play this out. We go and grab a land with our Bushwhack. It's going to make us go grab a forest. And now we have our 5 mana for throwing down Yuna. But I think we just use the Aang's Iceberg, eat the Glarb. The cool thing I really like about Aang's Iceberg is that the opponent's probably not going to leave. Usually, the opponents do not leave Glarb underneath the Iceberg. So what you can do is you can sacrifice the Iceberg and scry 2, and then that's something that you can reanimate with Yuna. Sometimes opponents do things that are completely and wholly unexpected. I'm assuming they have removal for Aang's Iceberg. That's wild. Okay. I mean, people are terrified of Up the Beanstalk. It is one of those cards that, like, traumatized a whole generation. Yeah, it's strong, but it's not that strong. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter. Our opponent is just playing interaction.deck. Is that what's going on here? Does that mean I'm not going to be able to land a successful Yuna? Is there even any point to putting Yuna on the field? I guess we get our Up the Beanstalk. Okay, I'll try. They might have counter for it. Cool guy. All right. So, Yuna back into the command zone. If we draw another land, we can try for 7 mana next turn. What else are we going to really do? There is the way of destroying the Aang's Iceberg. So they free, stumbling over my words, Glarb. And unfortunately, we do not have a way of putting Yuna onto the field. But what we can do is just blast everything away and then kill Glarb when they play it one more time, I guess, with the Get Lost. We are desperately needing to get our next land. They got a lot of mana. They can actually put Glarb onto the field. This opponent loves this deck. This is their deck. Guaranteed. All right. I don't know. Let's get rid of it. It's annoying. Get out of here, Fishman. Frogman. Whatever you are. We do not hit the 7th land. We desperately need it, and we're just not finding it. All right. Llama. Get in for 3, baby. That's a desperation attack if I've ever seen one. Okay, Glarb down. We're going to Path to Redemption Glarb, probably. Unless we hit... I suppose if I hit the land, I'm going to put that out. What do you got on the top of your library? It is a Decorum Dissertation, and they stock up. So they're going to outvalue us so much. Be a good thing, be a good thing, be a good thing. It's an okay thing. This thing will allow us to make sure we get lands. But I just don't think it's good enough, right? Hey, Yuna, get out here, girl. Aang's Iceberg, get out here, Berg. Take away Glarb for the 3rd time. They can easily recast it. They have more than enough mana to do that. Lessons from life. They are outvaluing us so much with all of these, with all this card draw. Even more card draw. 2 more a turn. Ancient Cornucopia. They are not really finding their... Yeah, interesting. They're not really finding their interaction anymore. Did their interaction just dry up? What we're going to do, though, is try to fill up our graveyard with good stuff. Put a Summon Bahamut or something in there. Okay, Overlord of the Mistmoors is going to be okay. I think I would still prefer Knights of the Round. We haven't seen a Knights of the Round yet. It would be awfully sweet to see one. Oh, when you call it, boys, it's so... This game is so easy sometimes, right? Wow, I'm so proud of myself. We get in for 11, and now the opponent needs to deal with the indestructible Knights of Round, the hardest summon to get. If you are a Final Fantasy VII enjoyer, you probably know the difficulty of getting Knights of the Round. Knights of Round. Wasn't it called Knights of the Round, though, in the game? I feel like it must have been. Now, the opponent, sure, they could have exile effects. They probably don't have exile effects. They probably have board wipes, though. Rivers. Really, bro? Okay, we're going to do Aang's Iceberg to scry. That hurts. That hurts a lot. We don't want either of those cards, I think. So we can put her in our hand. It's fine. And we'll try. We're gonna try jamming. I mean, I could just jam the Knights of Round again. Do you think they counter it? Let's try Ice to Explorer. It's kind of free, right? It's kind of... It's not kind of free. It's not free at all. We got to pay 2. Because we get to... Well... Okay. 1. Well, we get 1 discount kind of thing on that. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 7 mana. This is 8... 8 mana or... If I put Yuna on the field, Yuna can grab Overlord of the Mistmoors, and that's not a bad pull. Okay, Yuna. I have a feeling they have counter target creature spell, unless we pay 4. I can't pay 4. All right. All right, you got it. Take action. Yuna now costs 9, but we can pay that. It's fine. Paradigm, they are losing life though. How do you feel about the Paradigm cards? One thing about the Paradigm cards that I wish exile the spell as you return as a result. After you resolve the first one, you may cast a copy of it from exile. I wish this may wasn't there. What I wish was like, once you start the Paradigm thing, you're locked into it. Like you have to commit to taking that 2 damage every turn. Because I kind of wish it were a case of this could kill you if you let it go too long. I think that would be a very interesting way of designing the card. Okay, Fountain Port. We get our Legend of Kyoshi. That's pretty good. I don't know how many basic lands I even have left. I probably don't have that many. But what we're going to try to do is Path to Redemption the Glarb. Let's see how they react to this. They let it happen. Okay, let's get in for 2 damage. And I think I'm going to try jamming Knights of Round. Knights of Round resolves. Cool. Let's hold up Parting Gust to maybe try to save our Knights of Round. They gain 3 life from the Cornucopia, Rakshasha's Bargain. Pretty good card. They must be getting low on cards. 23 now. Is it still 23 after they milled? Yeah, 22 to our 24. Both of us are just drawing so much through our deck. Like this is one of the reasons I've actually been enjoying Brawl quite a bit, is because I've been finding like there have been a few times when I've been on Discord and I've been playing like these games that are just grindy like this, back and forth, and you leave it and you say, dang, that was like one of the best games of Magic I've played. And I didn't really get that with Historic Brawl all that often. From time to time it happened, but not that much. Target player sacrifices a creature of their choice. They want me to sacrifice Knights of Round. So I am going to attempt to bounce the summon Knights of Round, and it will come back at the next end step. Surveil 2, sure. They like what they saw. Okay, so we are going to sacrifice our entire board. Season of Loss, pretty cool card. Pretty cool card. And their Glarb, they can probably cast it, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They straight up cast it. That's crazy. They still have 2 mana left. Ooh, a Ghost Vacuum is a problem. It's a problem and a half. But we have... Okay. Virtue of Loyalty. That's a real card. Virtue of Loyalty is interesting. So they are going to eat whatever we try to put out with Yuna. That means that Yuna is pretty much useless now. Okay. I could load up this card and attack in. And this attack in is actually pretty good. I will be losing my Restless Prairie. But, okay. Let me see if I had lethal damage there. These would have all been 3, so 3, 6, 9. And then this would have been another 3, so 12 damage, and they blocked the Knights of Round because they would have had to block the biggest thing. I think we would have actually had lethal on them with the Restless Prairie. That was crazy. And then, of course, the Virtue of Loyalty was going to untap all of our attackers, put a +1/+1 counter on them at the end. All right, that's cool. WoW GS, Glarb player. Very fun. All right, I think I showcased pretty much everything that this deck can do. We saw Yuna do some copying. We saw Bahamut's dropping. We finally saw Knights of Round at the end of the game doing the cool stuff. One thing I don't think we really saw was Summon Titan, which is a shame because that's a really cool card. It does some crazy stuff. We also saw a Legend of Kyoshi, kinda. It's a little bit of a shame that we didn't get to see the level 2, but it was coming. The opponent just scooped up before it actually happened. Primeval Bounty was doing fun stuff. So I've been having a blast playing this deck. It's like 40-something games played with it. I'm probably going to keep playing it, although... the unfortunate thing is, now that I have the video recorded for Yuna, I'm going to say to myself, well, I got to start like thinking about the next commander that I want to play for the next video that I'm going to record. So then I have to jump to another commander. So then Yuna and Waka and Cloud kind of get pushed away. Maybe I will do a non-Final Fantasy oriented commander for my next Brawl video. We'll see. If you have any recommendations for commanders that you would like to see, some people had said some of their favorite ones in the comments of the last video for Waka, but not too many. So I would like to hear some more suggestions or some more favorites from all of y'all. Anyways, let me know what you thought about the deck. Let me know what you think about Standard Brawl versus Historic Brawl. Do you prefer Historic Brawl content? Do you like the vibe of Standard? I'm pretty high on Standard Brawl. I've actually been having a pretty good time, but it might just be because I've been tearing the floor up with old Yuna, Hope of Spira. Oh, this card. And yeah, that's about it. Also, just, you know, like the video, say hello down in the comments, subscribe up if you haven't made it to, or haven't done so already, and if you've made it to this point in the video. And that's about it. So take care for now. Sarang ipuna, and I will see all of you in the next one. Bye-bye.